kind of where we left off yesterday, actually, but I just wanted to make sure that you saw this so you know what we were talking about. There's no need to go into the backdrop of January 6th and everything else that has followed. I think that it's pretty obvious, the details there. But what's incredible is this video of Gretchen Whitmer in Michigan leading Democrats into the Michigan State Capitol building to storm the building, shut down government proceedings, including getting violent against journalists, getting violent against police. And it was Whitmer herself that let the protesters into the Capitol building, and she brags about it. So it just kind of puts everything into the perspective of one set of rules for them, another set of rules for us. So here's Gretchen Whitmer bragging about leading the storming of the Michigan State Capitol, encouraging people to do it on the ground. They took over the building. They stopped government proceedings. She bragged about how she did all of it. She opened up her office window to let them infiltrate the building. No calls for Whitmer's arrest. No calls of her being a terrorist or any of the people out there being a terrorist. And you know what? They're not. They had a fevered protest that day. It's part of what America's all about. But oh my gosh, for 2021 standards, let's look at the terrorist leader, Gretchen Whitmer.
So when the governor locked the public out during their attack on collective bargaining, I threw open the doors of the Capitol and I led the resistance from my office.
And so now the crowd is chanting, "Let us in, let us in." My face! The police are the army of the Reds! 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 You want to take away my union brotherhood? You!
Some of the pro-union crowds raided a tent full of right-to-work supporters, and apparently one person was injured as they did so.
Some of those protesters tried to get into the Senate. That caused state police to shut the building down.
We're going to continue to fight. This fight is not over.
So there you go, setting the standard, Gretchen Whitmer. And so, look, aside from the perspective of the lies of January 6th, let's boil it down like this. If Democrats had 1,000 protests, at least 900 of them would have gotten violent. And these are obviously, you can, I don't know what the exact numbers are, but you can go look at all the Democrat protests / riots that we saw from last year. If Republicans had 1,000 protests, one got violent. So if each side gets 1,000 protests, 900, you'd have a 90% of Democrat protests get violence, 1% of Republican or conservative protests get violence. But, oh, what about that 1%? What happens when that happens versus the